don't say I don't make friends well, but that it's a difficulty. Just socializing with people and making friends is scary because it ties in with the other one. Like, I don't say the wrong thing at the wrong time, but nor do I want to, like, I want to try. I mean, I want to attempt it, but I don't want them to think I'm a bad person, or I don't want them to think I have a bad reputation, which is not, it isn't true at all. I don't think, at least. But with that case, that's another one.
One of the things that I find kind of refreshing and challenging, because I don't have autism, is that what you just said there, making friends is scary. It's a blunt truth that we all feel, and most of us don't bother to say out loud. But it's true. It's true for everybody. And the fact that you have the awareness of that and can express that, that's important. That's valuable.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. As his mother, Sam is one of the most aware people, like people that have a person that has autism. A lot of times isn't aware of a lot of things, even if they're high on the spectrum. And I've met lots of people over the years that have had autism, and I'm by no means an expert, but he is one of the most I don't know what word did I just say?
Outspoken.
Outspoken, but aware.
Yeah.
From a very young age, he could tell me, this is what I'm thinking. He's always, for really as long as I can remember, he's always been able to communicate with me and paint a picture for me and say, this is what this looks like to me. This is what this feels like to me. And that's been really helpful, because I've been able to take that information and then say, okay, like, how can we help now? Like, what can we do? So he really is very aware that, like, he goes into a conversation. He's told me before, Mom, I see how they look. I mean, if he goes into a conversation, like, let's say he has a group of teenagers, because that's kind of been the hardest thing. A group of teenagers that they're talking about something that Sam maybe isn't interested in or doesn't really know a lot about.
They're talking about Pokemon.
Yeah. But he used to think in his mind, like, he would be watching them talk. In his mind, he would think, one, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Like, we need to all quit talking about this. And then the second thing, maybe he would think, how can I go into that conversation? And so as somebody that's non-autistic, pretty natural, like, you kind of watch other people, but he's sometimes it's harder for him to come into the conversation, because if he comes in at the wrong time, or if he starts talking about something that, like, has nothing to do with the topic, that's when he'll tell me, like, I saw how they looked at each other. Like, and at times when he was growing up, that was quite heartbreaking, because sometimes he would know that people were giving him a hard time, or they were, like, kind of standoffish with him, which was sad. But then on the flip side of that, it was even more sad when they were doing that and he didn't know. And I knew, because I'm a teacher. I was his teacher. And so he was in my English class and I saw it often. And the kids knew that I was his mom, and they wouldn't be, like, blatantly